There we go. Okay, so our hips, right? So our hips are a major weight-bearing joint, so it allows us to walk, stand, bend, turn. So healthy hips also means independence, and it helps with balance and gives you full mobility. So our hips, it's a ball and socket joint, just like your shoulder, so it moves in all planes, right? Not just forward and back like your knee, but it moves side to side, rotates. So it's a complex joint, and there's a lot of muscles that surround that hip. A lot of our glute muscles, the front thigh muscles, so a lot of things play a role there. And so what can cause some hip pain, right? So we can get some wear and tear, some arthritis over time if we, just over time we wear it down. Also, if we overuse it, we can get bursitis. So bursitis is inflammation of a little burst that you have here on the side. So sometimes if you're having side hip pain, you could have some inflammation happening in there. You can get some muscle strain. You can pull your muscles. Sometimes you pull a groin muscle if you reach too far. It's kind of painful. You can also have muscle imbalances. So you have weaker muscles and some other ones are working harder. A very popular one is the piriformis muscle. I don't know if you guys have heard of that one. And sciatica. So that's painful. Sciatica is a nerve that comes along the back of your leg. And if your piriformis muscle is tight, it likes to press onto that nerve and cause that radiating pain. So piriformis is a little one that we like to work on quite a bit. And if your glute muscles are weak, your piriformis will actually work harder to try and make up for your glute muscles, and then that can cause pinching on your nerve. Okay, so what are some exercises we can do for our hips? Okay. One, again, same thing, everything, no sharp pains or anything. Make sure you guys, when you're doing these, you're doing gentle and easy motions. But a sit to stand, okay? This is a very functional movement, okay? So research shows that as we age, we tend to start using our hands to start pushing up to get up, okay? But that just shows that you're getting weaker in your legs, weaker in your core, which then leads to fall risk. So in PT, when we do assessments, we actually test how quickly you can stand up and sit down 5 times in a row without using your hands, and it kind of determines more towards your fall risk. So let me see everybody do a sit to stand. Scoot forward in your chair, okay? And everybody just lean forward and stand on up. Yeah, good. And then stick your bottom out and sit back down. Good. So the key with that one, I like to say nose over toes. Okay, so think about when you're leaning forward, bring your nose, the line of your nose to go over your toes, and that'll help you stand up taller. Instead of just trying to stand up straight, it's harder to just try to go up straight up. So yeah, this is a good one. This is a great exercise. I like to just give this to my patients to just get moving and stop sitting for so long. So that will also help to prevent tightness from happening, okay? It also works your leg muscles. Also good cardio, actually, because when you stand up, your heart has to pump faster to pump blood. So it's a great exercise. So for the sit to stand, it's that functional movement that we want to be able to practice and be able to get up without having to push off with our hands to build some leg strength, some core strength, and just to be able to show a decrease in fall risk. So you're going to scoot to the edge of your chair. Okay, and then we want to remember nose over toes. So imagine that line where your nose is and the line where your toes are. You want them to at least get parallel to each other, or at least your nose to cross over that line of your toes, okay? So that means we have to really lean forward to bring our nose over our toes before we stand up. If we try to stand straight up like this, it's a little bit harder than if we were to lean forward, squeeze our bottom, and come up. And then bend at your hips, sticking your bottom down towards the chair, sitting down. Okay, so just repeating, nose over toes, coming all the way up, and coming all the way back down. Practicing these, I usually say about 5 to 10 times, 2 to 3 sets. You want to be able to practice these, be able to build up your strength and endurance to get up without having to push off. This one is called the clamshell, okay? This exercise is going to strengthen your glute muscles, specifically the ones on the side, gluteus medius. That one helps stabilize your hips when you're walking. If those are weak, we tend to see something called a Trendelenburg gait. Your hips start dropping, okay? And when that happens, we can overuse the piriformis muscle, or we can all start getting back pain from that. So we want to stabilize your hips. So with this one, you're gonna be laying down, and I'll send you guys a video for these too, okay? But you guys are gonna be laying down, you're gonna roll your hips forward, and you're just gonna lift your top knee up. You should feel your bottom really working and tightening. You can also do this exercise sitting down if you put like a little resistance band around your knees and just open and close your knees and squeeze your bottom. Open and close those knees. You should feel your bottom working. So it's another version. It just doesn't work it as hard as you do it laying down. Okay, so this is a great exercise. This exercise is called the clamshell. So you're going to lay down on your side. You want to make sure that your hips stay rolled forward when you do this exercise. Don't let your hips roll back. You're going to keep your knees bent, your feet together, okay? You're going to keep your feet touching the whole time. The only thing that's going to be lifting is your top knee. So this exercise is going to work that glute muscle in isolation, which is going to help stabilize our hips. We're going to tighten our tummy muscles, turn on that transverse abdominis, and either you can prop up your head like this, or you can lay down on a pillow, whatever is most comfortable for you. And then what we're going to do here, keeping those feet together, you're going to lift that top knee up. You're going to squeeze that bottom, and you're going to hold for a couple seconds, and then come back down and repeat that movement. Notice how my hips are staying in place. I'm not rolling backwards. You want to make sure they stay rolled forward and you isolate just that glute muscle. Okay, and you're going to lift that knee up and back down. You can also add a resistance band to this exercise to make it a little bit harder. You can just take a resistance band, tie it around your knees, like so. Lay back down, and you're going to perform that same exercise now with a resistance band, lifting up. Makes it a little bit harder, makes that glute have to work more. Lifting up, squeezing that bottom, coming back down, and feeling it work in there. The other one is similar. It's a hip abduction. So you're in the same position laying down, but instead of the knee being bent, you have one straight, and you're lifting straight out to the side. And that also is going to work this muscle. You can also do this standing, holding on to a counter, standing up nice and straight and kicking out to the side, squeezing your glute muscle. And that'll work that muscle right in through there. Make sure you guys keep your tummy tight. I taught you guys how to turn on your tummy. Remember, for the back, tightening your tummy, and make sure you're not arching your back when you're doing this, because then that will start causing some back pain. Standing up tall, just squeezing your glute, okay? This exercise is the sideline hip abduction, so it is going to also work that glute muscle. It is usually the next level after clamshells, just because you have a longer lever arm and it makes the glute have to work a little bit more. Once again, you're going to go back onto that side, laying down. Keep that bottom leg bent. Top leg now you're going to straighten, okay? And you're going to, again, keep those hips rolled forward. Don't let those hips roll back. And you're going to lift that leg up to the side here. You want to make sure that we don't bring that leg forward, or else we're going to start using hip flexor muscles. We want to use the back side. So we want to either lift straight up, preferably if you can bring the leg a little bit back and then lift up. You'll really feel that glute isolating and working. The only problem with this is you want to make sure you're not arching your back as you lift that leg backwards. We want to keep that tummy tight, not arch, and we're just lifting up and down here. Now, ideally, you want to be doing these exercises till you feel that muscle fatigue and get tired, and then you take a break, and then you would do that about 2 or 3 sets on each side. Now, to make this exercise harder as well, you would then also add a resistance band around the knees, like we did for the clamshells, like so. Go back down, top leg straight, rolling those hips forward, lifting up, and a little bit back behind you, squeezing that bottom up and down, making sure we're not arching our back. Tummy stays tight right through here. The other one, I already showed you guys this one for the back, the bridge. You can also do this for your hips too, just to strengthen those glutes and give you more stability overall. We're going to do the bridge. So we're going to lay down on our back. We're going to make sure we tighten our tummy muscles, flatten our back against the bed with that tilting our pelvis backwards. Squeeze your bottom muscles. And as you lift your hips up, you want to make sure that stays squeezed, your bottom, and push through the bottom of your heels so we don't use our hamstrings as much, but more of our bottom. So we're going to squeeze our bottom, lift those hips up and back down, and squeeze, lift up. And then if you can hold it for about 3 to 5 seconds, that will really work that bottom muscle. You want to make sure we're not arching our back as we lift. Keep that core engaged. Lift and hold. You're going to be doing about 10 to 12 reps of that, 3 sets, really feeling your bottom working. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys 2 stretches. This is the piriformis stretch. This is specifically for that little muscle that likes to pinch that nerve, okay? So you can do this sitting down or laying down. Okay, so sitting, crossing that leg in front of you like this, sitting up nice and tall and just leaning forward. You should feel it stretch on that bottom, that leg that's up. You'll feel it. You'll be a little tight. You'll feel it working. Same thing laying down. Okay, you lay down, you bring that leg up and over, and you would actually, instead of you leaning forward, you would bring your knee up towards your chest to feel a stretching all throughout your bottom. This is a feel good stretch. It'll tell you you're tight. You'll get up in there, you're like, oh my goodness, I can't pull it. So this is a really good one to keep working on. We're going to work on the piriformis stretch. This stretch is going to really stretch that little muscle that likes to get tight and sometimes put pressure on our sciatic nerve, causing pain down our leg or just localized deep ache. So we're going to stretch it out. You're going to lay back. You're going to bring one leg up and over the other one. Now, there are different ways that you can do this. More aggressive of a stretch each level. So one is just pulling your knee towards your opposite shoulder. Some people might be really tight and this is already a stretch enough for them. The next level we can do is one hand on the back of the knee, the other hand on the back of the ankle. And we're going to pull both towards the opposite shoulder. Pulling up and across your body, feeling a stretch throughout your bottom, and holding for about 5 to 10 seconds, and then relaxing and going in and out of that stretch, feeling that muscle relax. You can also bring your hands through your legs here, grab the other leg behind, and pull both towards your chest. This is a little bit more of an aggressive stretch, pulling and stretching that left bottom for me, and then you would just switch sides to get your other bottom. Okay, you can also do this stretch sitting. So you can sit on a chair or at the edge of your bed, usually on a chair because then your feet can touch the bottom of the floor. You're going to cross that leg once more. With this one, you're going to sit up nice and tall, and you're going to gently lean forward. You're going to feel stretching on that bottom side. Mine is here on that right side, leaning forward. You can also add a little bit of a pressure pushing down as you lean, or we can pull again both that knee and that ankle towards your opposite shoulder, stretching throughout here. Whichever one is most comfortable and that you're able to do, but still feel a stretch. Stretching should be uncomfortable, but not painful. And the last stretch is a hip flexor stretch. So a lot of times we are really tight here in the front of our hips. And what that does is that actually pulls your pelvis forward and it makes your back arch a little bit more. Subconsciously, we're not aware of this, but the more that pulls, the more our back starts hurting, or our hips also will start hurting in this position. So we need to stretch those front muscles. So you're going to get down either on your knee, or you can do the standing as well. Okay, so I'll just show the standing version. Okay, so standing, you're holding on to something, one leg is in front, one leg is behind, you're gonna tuck your tailbone under you, okay? And by that, I mean just squeezing your bottom and bringing your belly button up towards your face. And then you're gently bringing your hips forward till you feel it stretch all through this back leg right here on the front. I feel it from here all the way down to kind of towards my knee. And you'll just feel it stretch. And that's a great hip flexor stretch to do either standing or kneeling. It's a little more aggressive when you do it kneeling, but I know not everybody can get down to the ground, so you can do it standing up as well, okay? And for that standing hip flexor stretch, we also want to use something to stabilize, either something sturdy like this or the wall. And we're going to do similarly like we did kneeling down. So you want to put one foot in front of the other, give yourself a wide stance. You want to make sure that the back leg is the one that's stretching. So we're going to tuck that tailbone again. We're going to squeeze this glute and bring those hips forward without arching our back, okay? So tuck, come forward, feel it stretch throughout here. Now, I usually like to hold onto the wall and push my support towards the wall. So I'm going to show you guys doing it that way, since this way I'm not able to go as far, but this is an option. So hands on the wall, one foot in front, one foot behind, tucking that tailbone, bending that front knee to go towards the wall, and we're gently pushing our hips straight forward, holding again about 10 seconds. You can do 5 on each side, relaxing, tucking that tailbone, bringing those hips forward, feeling it stretch all throughout that front thigh and hip. To perform the hip flexor stretch, if you are able to get down to the ground and put one knee on the floor, one leg up, holding on to something that you can stabilize with, then you can do it this way. If not, we can do it standing, and I'll show that next. But for this stretch, you want to stretch the front of your thigh a little bit up into your hip area. So you want to make sure that we tuck our tailbone, and then we squeeze this glute here, squeeze that glute, and gently bring our hips forward, straight forward. That's about as far as I can go, and I already feel it stretching all through here. We want to make sure that we don't arch our back at all and try and lunge forward this way, because that's not going to really get a good stretch here. We want to make sure we almost think about flattening your back and tucking your tailbone, gently coming forward. I'll show that from the side view. So if we put this knee down, this knee up, we want to make sure we tuck that tailbone and then gently going forward. That's about as far as I can go before I feel it stretch. You want to hold this stretch for about 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds, at least 5 on each side, and you can slowly build up the time that you can hold this stretch for. Again, stretching should be uncomfortable but not painful on both sides. Just a reminder that we just need to stay active, even if that just means just going out for a little walk. I know it's cold outside now, but walk around in your house, get up instead of just sitting for 2 hours. Every 30 minutes, get up and do a stretch or walk around or do some sit to stands and just get some movement, guys, because those hips will stiffen up. And when we're stiff there, it stiffens everywhere else and we start getting pain everywhere else. So yeah, just want to encourage you guys to get moving and take care of your bodies. Thank you. Happy Sabbath.